Okay, so I titled this diary entry number 4/5 because after diary entry number 3, my previous video was titled Daily November Daily Vlog 1. But it's November 26th, and this is the second video I'm making in November. So daily vlogs did not happen. But yeah, so I'm going to so if I had continued the numbering from before, then that would have been number 4, and this would be number 5. I know, stupid details that I don't need to share with anyone. And yeah, the image you're seeing is what I came across. It says, "Dear blank of the internet, sorry, please buy one and stop posting your problems on my newsfeed." Well, this is exactly what I do on my diary entries here. I say how shitty my life is and how I'm not doing anything to change. Because I just watched all my videos and I saw the one from September where it was only 1 month in of school, and I guess that was diary entry number 1. It's only 1 month in school and I haven't started studying, and now I only have 8 days left of this semester and I still haven't started studying. I studied 2 days ago, really actively studying. I made 5 flashcards or 8, no, probably like cards into 2, so I had 10 flashcards then. And I went on Quizlet and I read flashcards that my classmate had made. The girl that sits next to me, she's made flashcards and she posted online, and I read those, and it was like 61 flashcards, and I read all of them like 4 times. And the ones that I couldn't get, it was like 26 of the ones that I thought was really important and might come on the test, and I studied those 26 flashcards like 3 times until I could get them correct. And the next day I had my test, and I think I did okay. I got it was 66 questions and I only got 48 right. And the chapter, it was 2 chapters on my exam, and the flashcards that I spent so many times on the night before was only from 1 chapter. And before I focused on those, I read my notes and my PowerPoints for the previous chapter, but I didn't spend as much time as I did on the second chapter. And so I think I got most of those questions right, but like, so I got 18 questions wrong, but then my instructor went back and um, he changed some of the questions because the wording wasn't up to his standard, because he didn't make the test. He just used the test bank from the school. So which is different people making the questions. So he went back and readjusted the grades, and I think I got a 80. Yeah, which is what I got before. So it didn't change my grade. Because 66 questions and 48, so that would be like 73. Well, I guess I got more points if I final test grade was 80, but whatever. Um, so the reason that I'm making this video right now is because it's November 26th. I have really 5 days left of school, and then I have final exams. And so I should be studying. I've met a friend online and I've met her a couple of times. She's invited me to her house on the first time, and I've been to her house a few times after that, and she's been helping me study on different occasions for different exams. And now that I have finals, I've asked her to help me study, and she is very willing to help me study. And last night, she asked me to send her the PowerPoint's information or make copies of my textbook so she can help me, so she can better understand too. And I haven't done that. How dumb can I be? I have someone willing to help me for the first time ever, and I'm not letting them help me. So weird. So last night I told her that I was gonna email her the PowerPoints, and I came home, I ate dinner, I started to look at the PowerPoints, and then I text my husband saying that I'm gonna go shopping. It's Black Friday. I'm gonna go shopping. Out of nowhere, like what? And I don't know. I waited for his response, and then I forgot about it. I was watching TV and eating, and then when I was doing the I was like trying to make changes to the PowerPoints to like pick out what I really need her help with. And then I never even emailed it. I didn't finish or anything, but I looked at my husband's response, and his response was, "Good luck, hun. Your shopping budget is $100, and have fun." And I was like, "Wow, I was not expecting that response. Like, we're trying to save money and move out, and I know like 2 days ago our account was overdrafted because of all the bills and stuff, and I haven't been putting my checks in the bank because of just utter pure laziness. And really, he used to always be the one to take the checks to the bank. But I have 3 checks that I haven't put in the bank yet. I had no idea why. And that's why our account probably overdrafted because I'm keeping my checks until they expire or something. I don't know. I'm so stupid. But, anyways, he said that, and I was like, oh, thank you. But I was not expecting that response, and I don't really want to go anyways. I changed my mind already, you know? And he's like, LL, like, I knew you weren't gonna go anyways. And I'm like, what? How did you know I wasn't gonna go? And he's like, because you're lazy and you don't like going shopping alone. And I'm like, yep, that's kind of true. But him saying that kind of made me feel like I don't want to be lazy anymore, you know? And yeah, I don't like going shopping alone, but I'm just gonna go. Even though I should be studying, I'm gonna go. So I went shopping last night, walked around the store for an hour. I gathered like 5 things that I thought would be good gifts for him, and then 2 things that would be something I could use in my car. And then they announced on the intercom that they were about to close in 15 minutes, and I put everything back and left. So that was a wasted night. And then I came home, and instead of emailing my friend the notes so she can help me study today, I freaking went to Dress Lily online, and I guess there was an ad on the side of my, and it just like sucked me in, and I started looking up things I would want to purchase and opening up new tabs, and I have like 16 new tags of things from Dress Lily that I want to buy. But then I started feeling sleepy, and I went to bed, and it was like 1 o'clock, and he came home and helped me study, and he's like, you're not helping yourself, which was true. And then he started like and he's trying to get a new video game online, and I'm like, you have a drawer full of like 27 video games. You don't need to buy any more video games. And he's like, but I really want to play this one. And I was like trying to do something online that I shouldn't be doing anyways. And then I see him like using our credit card putting in our credit card information. I'm like, like, stop doing that. Like, you don't need to buy anything. Our account is already overdrafted. And he's like, that's because you don't put your checks in the account. And I'm like, still, we don't need to be buying video games, you know? And we have been in debt for a few years now. And he took the initiative to cut his credit card up his account, and he added me after we got married. And I've never been in debt. He's the one that was in debt before we got married, and with him, I took on his debt basically. And we've been making payments. I've encouraged him to make payments on it, and our debt is going down. And we only have like $1,000 or over $1,000 in debt now, and so we've been doing really good on that. And think sometime last year, I think it was like someone's birthday, his mom's birthday or something. Or no, I think it was just my birthday. I don't know. But sometime last year, he cut the card off, all of a sudden ordered new cards. And I'm like, I thought we weren't gonna spend any money and use that account. We were just gonna pay it off. Like, why are you doing this? And he did it behind my back, like without even talking to me about it or anything, you know? And he's like, because our debt's gone down and I thought it was good now. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. Let's pay it all off, get it out and done with before we start using the account again, you know? Card, it's on top of the fridge. I checked it last night, it's still there. But he logged into the account and was putting the information into the gaming console, Xbox or PlayStation, whatever, to buy the game. And I was trying to tell him, like, no, you don't need to do that, blah, blah, blah. And anyways, he like hid and did it anyways. And I could have stopped him. I could have turned the game off or whatever. I really didn't think he was doing that exactly. Like, I thought he was like faking it for some reason. Like, I put too much trust in him when it comes to money. Like, he's really not good when it comes to money. And neither am I, because I go shopping and spend on impulses. But last night I did really good, even though I wasn't supposed to be there anyways. But whatever. But yeah. So the he logged into the account and added the credit card information online and purchased the new game. And like I wasn't really paying much attention to him doing it because like he would start typing, then I would say something, and he would go to the bathroom or he would go into the fridge and just like pause and like keep adding stuff like 3 digits of the credit card number, then 3 more digits, then wait some more minutes, then 3 more digits, then the expiration date. And like I thought he was just making stuff up. I didn't was really looking at the account and doing it because I don't know, for some reason I didn't think he would. But this morning we were both laying in bed still asleep, and it was like in the morning or something, and his phone started ringing, and I was like, up, your phone's ringing, get it, shut it off, you know? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And then we slept for another hour, and then I guess he got a voicemail. And once you get a voicemail, it like, or until you read it for like 3 hours. And then I finally got up and I'm like, yeah, I know you got a call. Let's see if it's important or whatever. Give me your phone. And he's like, mm. And I'm like, wake up and pass me the phone. You're closer to it. It's on your side of the bed. And he got up and grabbed the phone and handed it to me. Or he looked at it first and then he like, and had the phone in his hand, and I just like grabbed it out of his hand. And I looked at it and I saw that it was a voicemail from this weird number. So I played the voicemail, and it was the credit card company saying there's been three purchases with your card, and they want to know if it's fraud, and we need to call them back to let them know if it's fraud or not. 10 o'clock tomorrow or something. And then he like jumped up, and I said, no, he didn't jump up yet. He was like still sleeping. And I'm like, did you really use that credit card that we've talked about so much to not use? and he's like trying to grab the phone from me, and I'm like, stop hurting me. And I'm just sitting up in the bed and looking at him with the phone in my other hand, and he's like reaching for the phone, and then all of a sudden he's like tapping me. Like it wasn't painful or anything, but he was like, because he couldn't get the phone, he started squeezing my arm. It didn't really hurt or anything, but he was just being like mean about it. And I'm about to get my period, so my boobs get really tender. And I told him that like a couple days, like I think I'm about to get my period, because he mentioned like, oh, it's about time to get finals again, like last year. And last year you were so stressed out and you had your period too. And I'm like, yeah, I hope I get my period before. And so I've kind of been waiting for my period, and like he knows my cycle because I have like a strict cycle. My period comes like every certain time of the month, right? So he knows my cycle because like gotta have sex with me before my period. Like he knows my cycle basically, and he's like, it's not coming. You know, if you stress too much, then and you don't want it to, so stop stressing so it can come, so you won't have to stress out during final exams and blah blah blah. So anyways, I just lost track, but yeah, I was basically asking him, hey, are you really using that account again? Like I can't believe you would use that account like after all we talked about. And he started like grabbing me, trying to grab the phone, but he couldn't reach it. And he like tried to he just started like tapping me, like hitting me. And I'm like, stop hitting me, like stop hurting me. I guess he remembered that my boob would hurt, so he like cupped my boob, like maliciously, like violently, but it didn't really hurt because my boobs aren't that. It's a little bit tender, but it's looking at him like, really? Like, you would go there? You know, like, this whole time he was like smacking my arm and smacking me in the back, just like giving me small hits. And I'm like, just looking at him like, seriously hitting me right now? Like, they didn't hurt or anything, but I was just like, really? And he cupped my boob like to hurt me because he know like my boobs would be tender and painful. And I'm like, I can't believe he would, like, really? And he smelled like booze. Like I know he was drinking last night, but I guess like I don't know. But and I'm like just looking at him, and he just like hitting me, and I'm like just looking at him in disbelief. And then he said, "You're a fucking bitch." And I'm in an interracial relationship, and like, and he's white, or I never like people saying that, but he said, "You're a fucking bitch," and he said like four name calling words that I just like in so much shock and disbelief. And he said, "You're a fucking bitch," and I don't know what else he said, but I know it was like four. He said, "Fucking bitch," "dumb," "retarded." Okay, I really don't know the four, but I know he called me four curse words or four name calling. And then the last one was fucking nigger. Then he walked out the room, walked into the guest room, and yelled, "I fucking hate you," and slammed the door. What just happened? Did he really just call me a nigger and a bitch and all those other curse words I can't remember? Hate me because I asked him why he's using our credit card, agreed not to use? Like, what just happened? Did I just experience a verbally abusive situation? And like, he hit me like 5 or 7 times, but they weren't painful. But it was just like, that's where his mind's at. My boob, like he was doing things to hurt me, and I couldn't understand it. And he told me he hate me. Like, when is he? I don't think he's. Oh, I'm just like taken out by it, but like in disbelief at the same time. And he went into the guest bedroom, and I just sat up in bed, just like, thinking and like in disbelief, like, what the hell just happened? And like 30 minutes, I sat there for like 10 minutes, like just like, whoa. And I had the phone in my hand, and so I start Googling like verbal abuse and what should I do and what do I do next? Like, what do I do? So many stories of battered women in relationships and with children. And I'm not with any child, and we've been married for a few years now, but I don't know. It didn't hit hard because I was just in like so much disbelief. Like, it wasn't called for. Like, it was so unnecessary. So it was such a small. I don't know. It was weird. But I was looking up all these really sad, depressing stories of women in very abusive relationships, and I'm like, so what do I do? Should I leave? Should I, like, is it a sign that it might get physical? Like, breast like that? Like, to do it, like, purposely hurt me because he knows that my boobs are tender because I'm about to have my period, and him, like, just like tapping me, like, hitting me because he couldn't get his way. Like, it was just weird. I can't wrap my mind around what happened. And I'm looking at all these verbal abusive forums and seeing domestic abuse, and I was like, my experience is not as traumatic as some of the things I've read today. So, should I get out of it? I love my husband. I love him. Like, I am so screwed up. Like, anywhere on time. I can't do anything I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it. If you've watched my first video, you know that's my life goal. And I'm very unsuccessful. I'm having trouble at work with my scheduled hours because of school. And now that I have this new girl working there who she's just really selfish and mean, and me coming in at hours. She's very, like, I'm lazy, but she is very lazy too, and she doesn't want anybody showing that up. So like every time I go into work, she's like playing on her phone, and there's so many things to do, and I start doing it, she gets really mad about that. And so I'm having problems at work with her, where she's contacting the manager and like me coming in at certain hours, you know? Has like a really bad attitude problem, and it's toxic and draining. And yesterday I have a really bad day, and I thought going shopping would cheer me up because I was around her from 11 to like 3, shut down completely. And after she left, I was just so like sad and ew. But yeah, so that's why I went shopping, really, to cheer me up. And but back to my husband, like, oh, like, what to do. And I know so many things are wrong with me. Like, I'm not, like, I'm supposed to be studying, and I'm not studying because I have finals in a week, and I'm not studying. I wasted last night. I should be probably studying with my friend, and I'm not. Like, just so many things wrong with me. Depressed lately, and yes, from all of first videos and all. And just like, I know there's a lot wrong with me. To do that, it makes me wonder, like, should I allow that? What should I do? Like, I don't want to end my marriage over something small like that, but is that like a red flag? Is that red where it could lead to that? I don't know. And then I sat in a room and I read all those stories and I looked up all this stuff. And it was like 45 minutes that I finally got up because I really had to pee. Guest bedroom and I saw that he's like passed out sleeping. And I said, "Hey babe, we need to talk." He's like, "What time is it? I have to go to work. I have to be at work at 12." And it was 11:34. And so he like just looking at me and I was like, "We need to talk." And he's like, "No." But I could see that he remembered what happened and he was like about it and I I don't really know how to act and so I went back to my bedroom. I just like walked away like and then I went into the kitchen to make me a cup of tea and then he came into our bedroom tea and I was about to sit around the table and then I was like, let's go let me just go back to the bedroom, see what Trin sees. And then I sat next to him on the bed and at first he was like making faces like rolling his eyes at me and staring at me and then shaking his head because I didn't know what to say. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know he said sorry. He didn't say sorry just yet. I was like just like silent, giving him silent treatment. Like I really didn't know what to do, and I don't have much time. I gotta go to work, and he getting dressed, and I think I left the room and grabbed my laptop. Oh, and he slammed down my laptop. You know how my laptop's been in my first video in September. I told you that I said that my laptop was acting up. This video said that my laptop was acting up because I think someone dropped it. So it's been doing this weird thing where every so often the screen would have like a bunch of white lines across it. And I was using it last night before bed and I listened to my class. As I was listening to my class last night while I was going to bed and I listened to it throughout the night. And so my laptop was still open and when he was cursing and calling me all those names and walking out to the guest room, he slammed down my laptop like really hard. He was doing just the most to like upset me, I guess, or to hurt me. It was weird. I don't know. But yeah, he slammed down my laptop. Went into the guest bedroom and said, "Fucking hate you," and he slammed the door. But where was I? I left the room and I grabbed my laptop because I was like, we're not talking, so let me just come downstairs. So I'm here in the living room. I grabbed my laptop and I opened it, and basically he got dressed and came down where I was, and he's like dressed. I'm trying to remember. I might have such bad memory. While he was getting dressed, I could hear him through him or brushing his teeth or something. Then he's like singing a song. He's like, "I'm sorry, I can't be perfect." So was that an apology? I didn't say anything. I was just like in silence. And then he came down here, was fully dressed. He was putting on his socks and shoes, and then he's looking at me, and he's like, "Hi, hi, hi, honey." And I was just like not answering him. Like I looked at him a few times, but I just like shook my head, like no, okay. And then he's like, "Well, I have to go to work. Can I have a hug?" And I just looked at him and shook my head and said no. Like, can I have a handshake? I just like said no again. I shook my head and said no. Then he like got on the floor and hugged my feet and kissed my feet, and he said, I'm really sorry this morning. And then I said, it's not the first time it's happened, but not like that. And saying sorry doesn't make everything peachy. And then he's like, well, I have to go. I don't have much time. And then he got up and he there and he said, well, I love you and I hope to see you tonight, maybe. So I guess he thinks I'm gonna leave. But I don't know. And I just look at him and shaking my head no like the whole time, and then came over and kissed me on the forehead and he says, I love you, and then he's like, hope you have a good day, and then he left. So I don't know. Should I like where do I go? I have exams next in 8 days. I'm in the States. My friend that would help me study, maybe I should go stay with her. If I don't even know if that is even possible. I don't know what to do right now, really. And that happened like 10 o'clock, and now it's 1:30. In disbelief and shock, and don't know what to do. I haven't even drank my tea yet. Well, I guess I'm going to email my friend the things to help me study and start studying. And I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Oh, well, I remember the first time he verbally abused me. It was like 8 months after we got married, and he was laying on the couch watching TV, and I was excited about something and was talking to him about something, and he has ADD, so he couldn't. He said he can't focus on watching TV and listening to me talk. But I was going on and on about something I was so excited about and so happy about. He just like barked at me. He was like, "Can you just shut the fuck up?" So shocked. Like that was the first time he's ever yelled at me like that, and I was just like, I just like stood like a deer in the headlights. This was like 4 years ago. He ever verbally abused me, and I was just like in utter disbelief. And I went down to the laundry room and just like got in a corner, and because I felt so like thinking about it makes me so sad right now. But I just cried for like an hour. Like, what the hell did I get myself into? Like, who is that person that just barked at me? Like, what did I do to really push him over the edge like that? I've never been treated like that. And then like an hour after he came downstairs, and like my eyes were all swollen and I had tears and snot everywhere. I was like, I was broken. Like I felt so like fooled. Like he was this nice person throughout the whole relationship, and then he just like barked at me like that, and I never thought he was that person. And I'm so far away from my family. I'm in another country from my family. I have family in other states, but I was just like, I gave up all that to be with this person, and he tricked me to thinking he was all nice and peachy, and then that's the type of reaction I get. I was so happy and living with him, and he just like shut me down, and he's really apologized about that, but I remember that first time. months and months after, I've had experiences where he called me bitch and we're arguing or we disagree about something and he used the words dumb and retarded and just little jabs here and there. And normally it's like when we're arguing or something or disagreeing on something or I did something to upset him, like I guess I'm making an excuse for it to say that I know it's not okay. And I remember 2 years ago I was belligerently crying my eyes out in on the laptop in the office or on the computer in the office looking up verbal abuse because he was just so mean to me. I don't remember. Well, I guess we were arguing and he was like really rude and mean to me. I don't know. Like I feel like our marriage is in a good place, but now that I think about it, I try to pick it apart and I know I'm a screwed up mess and he's really been there for me sometimes and I think about probably shouldn't say this on here, but he has taken advantage of me. Like, I was asleep and it's happened like 6 times. 2 weeks ago, it almost happened. It sort of happened where I was in bed, I was asleep in the night. He was drinking that night, and I woke up to him ripping a hole in my pajama pants, the bottom in my where my butt is. Not before, and when I'm sleeping, and I told him like, "Don't do that." And I was sleeping, and I could remember telling him, "Stop, please stop." And I just remember like waking up with holes in my pajama, and when he did that, like I would be hurting, like took advantage of me, like I would be hurting down there. But I know he didn't take advantage of me that night because I wasn't hurting. And I remember waking up and telling him like stop. But I don't know. I don't know.